God says, "Your sentence has been decreed in heaven, son. Listen, it is urgent." It was supposed to be just another evening. I had spent the day hustling through meetings, solving problems, chasing deadlines, and trying to stay ahead of my growing list of to-dos. I didn't think much of it as I left the office, the rain pouring down in torrents, blurring the street lights and making the city streets look like rivers. It felt like one of those nights when everything was heavier than it should be, as if the world was pressing down on me. I'd been driving for about 20 minutes, trying to focus on the road as I fought against the relentless downpour, when I saw it, the figure. At first, it didn't make sense. There was someone standing by the side of the road, barely visible, drenched in the rain, yet their posture was odd, too still, too quiet. I slammed on the brakes to avoid hitting them, but the road was slick and my car slid. It felt like time slowed down and I could see my life flash before my eyes. The steering wheel jerked out of my control and I crashed into the guardrail with a sickening thud. The world went black. When I woke up, I wasn't in my car anymore. The cold rain was gone, and in its place a heavy stillness lingered in the air. I tried to move, but I couldn't. I was standing in the middle of a vast, empty field. The sky was unlike anything I'd ever seen, a swirling mix of dark clouds and shining stars, as though the heavens themselves were alive and shifting. I looked down at my hands, feeling strangely light. That's when I heard the voice. "Your sentence has been decreed in heaven, son. Listen, it is urgent." The voice wasn't loud, but it had a power to it, deep and commanding, yet filled with a warmth that made my chest tighten. I froze, trying to understand what was happening. Was this a dream? A hallucination? Maybe the crash had knocked something loose in my mind. I glanced around, desperate for some explanation, but there was only that voice. It came from everywhere, echoing in the air around me. The voice continued. "Listen carefully, son. You've lived a life of comfort, yes, but you've been blind to the true path, deaf to the calls of those in need, and numb to the blessings I've placed before you. This is your reckoning." I shook my head, trying to focus. I was still processing the shock of the crash, and now this? I couldn't make sense of it. I spoke, my voice trembling. "What does that mean?" From the shadows, a figure began to emerge. At first, I thought it was a trick of the light, but the closer it got, the clearer it became. He was standing before me now, his presence overwhelming, yet gentle. His face was hidden in a halo of light, his robes flowing like pure light. The air around him shimmered with divine energy. The figure's voice broke through my thoughts. "It means you've been given the gift of time, but you've squandered it. You've lived for yourself, seeking success, comfort, and status, but you've turned a blind eye to your true calling, to the needs of those around you. You've neglected what matters most." The words hit me like a cold wave, washing away the warm comfort of my world. All the years I had spent chasing success, building my career, and indulging in what I thought were the goals of life, it felt shallow now. What had I been doing all this time? I thought about the countless hours I had spent at work, the missed moments with my family, the friendships that had withered, the people I had stepped on to get ahead. All of it seemed so small now. "But," the figure continued, "it's not too late. You are not beyond redemption. I am giving you one last chance to change. You've strayed from your purpose, but now you must choose the path that will define your future. You've been living for yourself, but you must start living for others." My heart raced, but this time it wasn't out of fear. It was something else, something deep in my chest, pulling me towards the truth in his words. The figure raised his hand, and the air around us seemed to pulse with light. "I will show you your life as it could have been, what you could have become if you had walked the path that was meant for you." Before I could say anything, I was pulled into a vision. I saw myself, a different version of myself, walking through a life of meaning. I saw myself helping people, lifting them up when they fell, speaking words of comfort to those who had lost hope. I saw myself standing at the side of a friend in need, offering my support. I saw a life of connection, not isolation. I saw a world where my success was measured not by what I had, but by what I gave. And then, just as quickly as it had appeared, the vision faded. I was back in the field, the figure standing before me. "Now you see," he said, his voice softer but still powerful. "The sentence is not just about punishment, it is about purpose. You've lived a life of selfish ambition, but now you have the chance to change. You have the opportunity to fulfill your true calling, but it won't come easy. The world will try to pull you back, to distract you with its false promises. You must decide now." I felt something stir in me, an awareness that had been buried for so long. I looked at the figure, feeling a surge of gratitude and determination. "What do I need to do?" The figure smiled, his light shining even brighter. "Live your life with purpose. Help others. Walk the path I've shown you, and you will find fulfillment beyond anything you have known." And then, just as suddenly as he had come, the figure began to fade. The light around him dimmed, and the field returned to its stillness. I felt the air change again, and when I opened my eyes, I was back in my car, rain softly tapping on the windshield. I blinked, still shaken, trying to make sense of what had just happened. But one thing was clear. God had spoken to me. I wasn't the same man anymore. The life I had lived up until now, chasing after worldly success, had come to an end. I had a purpose to fulfill. It was urgent.